Welcome back. My guests are here, lawyer Kwame Jantuah and Elvis Darko, who is the editor of the final newspaper. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Good morning, David. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You're well. Okay. That's good. It's good to have you here.
As I keep saying, I'm breathing, so...
You're breathing, so you're good.
Yeah.
As long as the breath is going in and out. All right.
I'm very angry this morning.
You're hungry?
Angry.
You're angry. What's causing your rising temperature?
Because the police in this country have become lords unto themselves.
I don't understand that.
A journalist yesterday went to one so-called prophet, Bedu, whatever.
Bedikobi. Yeah.
And the people decided that why is she there, they want to attack her. And police, instead of coming to the rescue of the lady, have arrested and detained her. A journalist trying to do her work. And the police decided to detain her for over an hour, deny her access to call even a lawyer.
Okay, so
So
Elvis,
how can we live in a country where law enforcement agencies have taken the law into their own hands and do what pleases them?
Elvis, you have to contextualize the conversation because I understand your agitation, but the church is a private property.
Who said so?
Private premises.
Who said so? The church is not a public place. It's not people who go there.
It's a public place with private restrictions.
Which is a private restriction to the church?
It's not like an open market.
Who said so? Is the church not a place that anybody can walk to? Is it not supposed to be a refuge for everybody? No, the church mantra is a refuge for everyone.
But you know that even with public places, there's a restriction, there's a reservation of the right to restrict access.
Let's not condone this kind of thing.
I'm not saying I'm condoning. What I'm saying is that if the
privacy of a church?
No, Elvis. If the people
I said the church is a private place that nobody can go there.
Own and run the place. It's owned by somebody.
Yes.
And if the people who own and run the place make a report to the police that somebody is affronting their rights within their space. The police have to come in and do what they have to do.
So they come to arrest the person on what charge?
The person has infringed their rights.
What infringement?
No. We can't go into this because it's under investigation and all of that.
So there's nothing under investigation. At the end of the day, if there's investigation, they wouldn't have let her go. They would have given her bail.
To contextualize.
No, I'm saying that if she has committed a crime, the police would have charged her. They should have said she should come to report today. Why have they allowed her to go free of charge? If indeed they have a crime against her, on what basis are they allowing her to go without telling her to come back and report for prosecution?
Okay.
So if the police have not preferred any charge against her, they can't tell me that she has committed any crime.
Okay.
That is my basis. So they can't detain somebody for over an hour, deny her access to call her lawyers, take her phones away from her, and then at the end of the day, you say go. Without preferring any charge against the person. So after infringing the person's right of not giving her access to lawyer, taking her electronic gadgets illegally from her because you did not have any court order to take her electronic gadgets from her.
Yeah.
And after 1 hour, you tell her that she should go without even telling her what crime she has committed, why you have detained her. We cannot live in this kind of system. Even if what you are saying stands that she even infringed a rule, the same law must apply.
I agree.
You don't misapply the law because you are the one implementing the law. But this nonsense has to stop in this country. There's no one above the framework of the law. If indeed they have any case against her, they should have preferred charges against her. But after doing all this to her, then you say go.
Yes. So then what is the subsequent course of action that should be taken against the police in this case?
I wish somebody can sue them.
What about the journalist herself?
That's what I'm saying. That I wish somebody can sue her. Suing in this country is expensive. People can't have justice because the cost of filing a lawsuit is expensive. That's why I say I wish. You see, we have a police service that has become so notorious for abusing people's rights in this country. And you see, we cannot allow people who are supposed to protect us to be abusing our rights. And after that, nothing happens. The police who have got to kill 7 innocent people in Asawasi, and we used state money to go and pay the families.
Yes.
Have you heard that any of them have been taken to any court? Has anybody heard that any of them have been taken to any court?
No.
Those who have beaten the Ghanaian Times journalists, including a lady who gave birth just a month through cesarean operation, and she was hit in the stomach. Have you heard that any police officer has been taken to court? How can we live in a system and police was so protected, do all this to citizens, and we allow them to continue? We cannot. You see, We pay them, we buy the uniform, we want them to protect, not to be abusing us. And if they can go to the extent of killing people, and they set up a committee and say that the people are not armed robbers, and they're allowed to go for free. And as we speak, this is over 6-7 months. Not a word of a single police officer has been taken to court after they killed innocent people.
Yeah.
And we are sitting on all this thing. Nobody's talking.
So I think it's...
How can we?
Yeah, so I think
this
it's important...
This emboldens them to do more.
Yeah.
But if we take serious action against them, then they will stop. Because somebody has killed somebody and is walking free, then somebody can decide to abuse your rights, detain you and leave you anywhere you want, because he knows that even somebody who kills somebody is walking free. So how much more if I detain you for 1 hour and say go? Nothing will happen to me.
Yeah.
And we cannot continue to tolerate this in the system.
Yeah.
The police have committed so much crime against the people of Ghana, and little action is being taken against them.
Yeah.
And then they tell you that they want you to help them brand their image. If you do this, how will anybody brand your image? The people who are supposed to help you brand your image, you are the ordinary people who you are supposed to serve. You've made yourself a thin god over them to the extent that you can kill people freely.
Yeah.
A gentleman has been killed in Agboba. Citi FM followed that story up to now. There's a report that showed that the gentleman was wrongly killed. The report is the Attorney General Department up to now. They will not act on it. Somebody's brother or sister has been killed, and the police themselves went to investigate and found that the guy was wrongly killed.
Okay.
They have done a report, and they are sitting on it in the Attorney General Department, and the family is crying for justice. And we allow police to do all this, and nobody is ready to take them away. We are not taking it serious against the police. Please, we are all at risk. All of us can be killed anyhow, and nobody will do anything. We must talk against these things. It's too bad.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, I think that it's important. For me, I like to look at the issue from all sides and look at the balanced view of things. But in what you're saying is very, very important. I think that the police, I want to make a personal call to the IGP, the acting IGP, because just last week, he's interdicted a police officer for wrongful actions that he took. And I think that in this case, we want to call on him also to say that, look, there are many cases that are outstanding that we know that the police has acted wrongly, and it's just unacceptable for this to continue.
And it should end only at the interdictions. The problem you have is when things like that happen, the only word you hear is they have interdicted pending investigations.
Yes.
It ends everything. Those who killed the poor Asawasi, that was what happened. They said they were interdicted pending investigation. And now, if you check the records of police, most of the crimes they've committed, you hear, oh, IGP has interdicted this person. Investigations will be done. You never hear of the investigation. The previous IGP said they're investigating the attack on the Ghanaian Times journalist. 2 weeks, the report will be out. He is gone, and nobody has said about that investigative report. So they are hiding behind interdiction, and then no further action. So the interdiction is not enough. We should have conclusion on matters. That is what we need to do.
But I think that it brings to mind an incident that I read about in the US, that a lot of the police who have been found culpable for criminal acts in the course of their duties have also gone scot-free, literally. And then sometimes even they come out and the investigation says that they were found not guilty of any crime. And I think that it brings to us the bigger question of the police investigating itself.
And that is why some of us...
Maybe this is why it's happening.
That is why some of us have consistently will continue to call for an independent police complaints commission. Because you can't tell me that an internal body can be so ruthless on its own people.
Let me ask Lawyer Jantuah, what are your, brief comments on this?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to our viewers. When you have a justice system where they imprison somebody who's stolen a goat, who's stolen a mobile phone for 20 years, and you get the police brutalizing ordinary Ghanaians, then there's something definitely wrong. The entire value chain should be looked at. I also West Wagon.
Yes.
What has happened? The fracas in front of the police headquarters, where journalists were brutalized.
Yes.
What has happened? Absolutely nothing. And whose responsibility is it to make sure that the police are taken to task? Whose responsibility is to make sure that the sentences given to certain offenses and crimes should be looked at properly? The Chief Justice, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The president who puts in the, the IGP, has a responsibility.
Yeah.
But so far, what has happened? Those who have been found to be corrupt and have stolen a lot of our funds, have we had any of them being jailed for 20 years? We cannot have an animal farm situation in this country. And who is supposed to start that particular move? Is it the media? Is it the people? I think it's the people, because the people make the mass.
I think so. I agree with that.
People make the mass. And people should demonstrate against such things. The police are there to serve us.
Yeah.
The courts are there to serve us. The government is there to serve us. They cannot do anything they feel they want to do, especially when laws have been put in place. And so I concur with what Elvis is saying. A journalist cannot go and do her job or do his job and face what they are facing.
Yeah.
It's wrong. And I don't share, although yes, it's true in America. America is America. Let them take care of themselves. Their president are saying that Africa are shithole countries. So let them do what they have to do. Let's look at our own and see who is responsible. You see, one of the things that we have to really talk about is the fact that when political parties go to an election and one is elected, the other political parties go to sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Even though we say we have some kind of a vibrant opposition, but I mean, I wonder if it's achieving the purpose it's supposed to.
Even the opposition is not achieving the purpose. Even the opposition, they're not achieving the purpose.
Because the opposition is more of propaganda than facing the real issues and bring out the fact and leading the people to the right place.
No, but then
opposition parties look like more propaganda than facing the facts.
Is that not because the executive system of governance that we have is overly empowered? Is that not the reason why this happens?
I keep telling you that this book called the Constitution has expired.
Yeah, so we need to fix it.
It has expired.
That's where we need to start.
Are we fixing it? But you see, the responsibility comes back to lie on the people. The people should be well versed in politics. Why? You do not give one party a huge majority the way we give them a majority in parliament.
Yeah.
If you voted for one party to be president, take over the executive, think deeper and make sure that they don't have a majority in parliament. Make sure. Why? So that
the checks and balances actually work.
Checks and balances are working.
Yeah.
And if the checks and balances are working, a lot of the things we talk about will be able to straighten it. But we are not educated enough as citizens to understand what politics is all about. And it helps both the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary to keep the people where they are. Now, if we're keeping the people where they are, that responsibility also relies on us.
But those sounds like vestiges of the colonial era, though.
Please forget colonial era.
So it's like we've not moved away from that.
No, let's learn ourselves. If they are not giving it to us, let's learn ourselves. Let's go out there and learn ourselves, our rights. And when an election comes, we put the right questions to the politicians.
We spent $3 million, put up a committee to go around Ghana and ask them, I want to review our constitution. Ghanaians say this is what we wanted. They wrote the report. Since President Mills, in blessed memory, till today, it is gathering dust. And the people who they came to ask the questions are not asking that. You came to ask us a question. We say this is what we want. Where is the new constitution? We are all quiet, so the politician will shelve it and be enjoying. So the citizens must rise up. We are in a country where citizens don't rise up, we're not going to go anywhere. Because for the people in the ruling class, they are happy that we have a docile population who don't demand answers, who don't demand anything. It makes the politician, the ruling class, so happy. So if a committee came to ask you, we are doing a review, and they finished their work, they wrote their report, they submitted, a white paper was issued. And since then, the report is gathering dust, and you, the person who said you want something, you are also quiet. How do you expect something to be done? It's about time Ghanaians begin to know that if we don't demand anything, we won't get anything.
I agree with that.
David,
absolutely, yes.
I believe we've got to a stage where the people should be militant enough to change things. if the politicians aren't changing it?
No, but I think that it's happening. It's just slow, but it's happening.
$3 million.
How is it happening?
No, for example,
yes,
the war and indiscipline that we're carrying out here, it's not instigated by government, it's not instigated by the opposition, it's instigated by the people.
What?
Do you see? So I'm just saying that it's happening. It may not be happening as fast as we want it to happen.
We need it to happen fast.
Well,
and do you know the war indiscipline, what it means? It's an indictment of the police service.
It is, but
that we have an entity that is completely ineffective.
Okay.
They will claim they don't have resources. How many vehicles is Citi having? But Citi is prosecuting an agenda. Private media have maybe 2 or 3 vehicles. The police will have hundreds of vehicles, will come and give you an excuse that we don't have vehicles to be able to do our work.
Elvis,
so it's an investment on the police.
Elvis, you've taken up my time. Let me conclude.
Okay, please wrap up.
Let me conclude. Any president who comes since 92 would always buy vehicles for police.
Yes, true. Yes.
They spend millions of our money to buy vehicles for the police. Go to every police station in this country and see the cars that were bought before parked on blocks. Don't you think the powers that be should ask the police, what have you done with these vehicles standing there? What should we do to maintain it? Shouldn't we probably have a maintenance shed or a maintenance place where all police cars should be maintained? I can bet your bottom city that these new cars that have been bought, by next year, they'll be packed on bricks there.
For new ones to be bought again.
Isn't it a waste of money?
Let's jump into a story for the day. The police have retrieved some parts, body parts, human parts, in a property close to where the alleged kidnapper of the Takoradi girls was living. There's a various fallout from these stories. So that's one. They visited the family to say that, look, we want to suggest that we do DNA tests. The family to have come out to say, listen, we're not interested because we suspect, we are suspicious of, because there's not enough information that has come out. This whole investigation has been shrouded in mystery and so on and so forth. So the family are not necessarily excited about the fact that you say you're going to do DNA tests and so on. If an independent body would do it, fine, fair enough, but not the police. Let me start with you.
Look,
yes.
See, investigations is not eating of kinky, okay? Investigation is a serious job. And everywhere in the world, when serious investigations are being done, nobody tells the public anything. It is when they make groundbreaking findings that they give part to the public. And because at the end of the day, you have to go to court and prosecute.
Yeah.
And if you give all your arsenals out, going to court can become problematic for you. I have checked since the news broke, and I checked, and it turns out that the media has actually put out a lot of inaccurate information about what has happened.
Really?
Yes, and that's the information I have. And I think that, the media we have, I am a journalist and I want to always have the breaking news. But we always say that you have to double check. You must get it from the right source.
What's the inaccurate news that has been put out there?
There is information in the system that the suspect led the police there.
To that place?
To the place.
Okay.
But the information that the suspect never led the police there. In fact, the suspect has consistently been deceiving the police.
Yeah.
So how the police got that together is by sheer lack and experience of one officer on the team, okay, who said he has investigated a murder case before, and for months he cannot know where the body was, and later they found the body in a manhole. So that issue reoccurred to the officer. So on that day he just said, let's check around whether there is any cesspit around, because
cesspits that have been broken.
Because from what he experienced in so many years ago, an investigative way is done before, that's how he found the body. So they should give it a try. So the report in the system that the suspect or the who led the police there is actually not factual. That is the information I have after double checking and triple checking. Okay? And
this is your own info.
That is what after double checking from the sources that should be able to give the information. Okay?
But not the police.
So the facts that the report that it is the suspect who led the police there is actually not factual. Okay? And the fact that people reported that police knew that they were going, it was sheer luck and coincidence. They didn't even go there to go and look for a manhole. Actually, they went there to check the house where the guy was living for whether they can find any further evidence, because crime scene is visited regularly as part of your work. When you get to a certain point, I have to go back to the crime scene when I find something that links to what I'm finding. So they went there to see if they can get some additional SIM cards and some information. So they didn't even go there on that day with the view. That is why it was reported that they went there without having any equipment with them.
Yeah.
Because the idea was not, they didn't have any purpose of going to look for a manhole.
Yeah.
It was at the scene that one officer said he recalled that many years ago he was investigating a case. For months they can't find the body, but the evidence showed that the guy killed the person. And it was later that they discovered the body in a manhole. So it was at the scene when they were looking for more evidence they couldn't find that he suggested that can we look for any manhole around, because this is what I've experienced in the past. This is what I'm being told by the police. So you see, the reportage, as if police knew that they were going to the scene to go and look for a manhole or another. I'm told that it's not really what has happened. So you see, sometimes we all want to get the information first, but we should also be mindful that the information we give to the public, if they are not factual and the facts comes out later, the public is likely to say the police have fabricated the report because this is what we were told earlier. And sadly, we have a police communication directorate. When they even see a complete factual inaccuracy, they are unable to respond immediately to set the record straight. So you see, what I have been told after the news came is that's why police issued a statement and said they found some bodies. They never said they were the bodies of. When you read the police, they never said they were the bodies of the girl.
That's true.
They said they found some bodies and that they will do a DNA test. It's important that investigations follow procedure. So ours, we are all anxious that these girls be found. And if what has happened, if it turns out to be them, we'll all be so sad. It's unfortunate. So it's not like they knew and they didn't inform the family. That thing just was an impromptu something. That is why they have to go in for a private car. The police have those cars, but because the thing happened impromptu, they have to go in. So see, let's be mindful of what we report. If the family says they won't cooperate with DNA test, then the question is the family really looking for closure? So I think that the police just need to go and brief the family well as to all this. I've spoken to people about DNA. They say, look, DNA normally they don't use fathers because possibility that the father may not be the child is high, because women may not necessarily tell you who really the father of a child is. But it's always important to use the mother or the siblings who slept in the same stomach with the mother. That gives a better accuracy for DNA test than using the father. You only use the father when you're 100% sure that the father is really the child. So if you go and use father and the report shows that they are not related, you are going to create a confusion. So it is better to rather use the mother, because for that one, the child slept in the mother's stomach. So whatever you are looking for, the possibility of getting a linkage, if they are the kids, is higher. So there's a professional way of going about these things. Let's not...
Just to wrap up on your comment here, let me ask a question. Do you think that what do you think is the reason why the family would say we don't want you to?
No, I think the police have not managed the communication of this issue from the onset. Okay, police have not managed their communication well, because if you follow the case, when the case was reported to the Western Regional Police, they really didn't act professionally and speedily on the issue until media started reporting about 2 weeks. When the media took up the issue, before it's like police really were paying attention to the matter. So the whole thing, the family, from the onset, they were angry that they reported to the police. The kind of action the police supposed to take were not taken until the media took the issue up. Before, so they believe that if the police had acted immediately on their complaint, the girls would have been found so early. So they have beefed from the beginning. And along the way, certain things happened to the extent that if you are a family member, you also be peeved like they are. That's why I said the police need to go have a proper meeting with them, explain to you where they need to apologize. They should apologize that we think here we didn't do well. And then we move on. And that's what I complain with the police. The first suspect escaped from custody. He alleged that he was assisted by police officers to escape. As we speak, have you heard that the police administration actually investigated and have put that officer or those officers who actually aided him, if it is true, on any trial? It is the gentleman who was sent to court and jailed for escaping from lawful custody. But his allegation that he was assisted by officers to escape, up to now, no closure on that matter. So how do you expect the family to be happy with the way you are doing your work? So I think that emotions are high, and if they are my sister or my family, my emotions will be as high as theirs, and I'll be equally angry as they are, because the police are supposed to protect me. I reported the case. They did not do anything. They really didn't act the way they should until the matter got to the media. So if it is true that my children are dead, I will really be angry. My sister is there. I will really be angry with the police that the family is angry with them. They have every right to be angry with the police. It's incumbent on the police administration to go have a complete briefing with the family where they need to apologize that here and here we've realized that our men acted unprofessionally and we are sorry. They should apologize. I believe that if they do this properly, the family will begin to realize that yes, they have admitted their wrongdoing and they have apologized, and therefore if the explanation as to how DNA should go is what has to be done, I believe they will cooperate. But how they handle their communication between them, especially, and the families has not been the best. And I think that it is time for them to resolve that now and move on in the right direction. Because we need a closure to this issue.
Yeah, we do.
If bones have been found, let's do the DNA test. If they are, they are. If they are not, then we know that we still have to keep searching for them.
All right. Okay, so before I come back to lawyer Jantuah for his comments, we'll take a short break. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Well, we've been talking about the Takoradi missing girls saga and where we are with it now. Elvis had been speaking earlier, saying that his information that he has, that he's gathered, is that the police really didn't go there to uncover any bodies. It was a by chance happening that occurred there. There's actually a video that I watched online that suggests that this is probably true, to the extent that there were eyewitnesses who said that the police had come to them to ask them for axes, pickaxes, and shovels, to go and dig, which means the police arrived on the scene actually unprepared to do a digging investigation. So anyway, Lawyer Jantuah, let's take your comments on this thus far.
If it so happens that they're able to do a DNA and it is proven that the body parts they found in the septic tank were the girls, then it's a huge indictment on the police. Why do I say that? When you look at other countries, and I would use the UK as an example.
Okay.
Somebody goes missing in a field. Somebody was walking in a field to go home and they go missing.
Yes.
When the police now come in, do you see how they investigate?
Yeah.
Every step of that field
is combed.
Yeah. You see a huge line of police, step by step, combing that field. Yeah. And any piece of information, no matter how small, they record it.
Yeah.
The police made a huge error by not combing that house where the suspect was properly. They should have cordoned the place off and gone through every detail of that house with a fine-tooth comb. And for me, the septic tank was one area they should have looked at first. Because somebody with a criminal mind would always try and hide their criminality in whatever spot they can get. And so, on that basis, the police created an error. Now, the error has been created. And because there's so much confusion within the police as to how to solve this, so many people were saying so many things.
Yeah.
And so many people saying so many things also brought in the politicians, right up to the president, just a few days ago. What evidence did they give the president for the president to be able to say what he said when he went to Takoradi? What evidence was fed him? And it will be a huge embarrassment, huge embarrassment, if it turns out that these body parts they found in the septic tank are the girls. Now, let's look at the family. Definitely, the family have lost confidence in the police.
They've even asked for the resignation of Brian Champon and COP.
If it is found that the body parts are the girls, all of them should resign. Because I cannot trust the police. If something like that happens to me, that they will be able to solve the matter. They should humbly resign their position. They can stay in the police, but the positions they've given them, they should humbly resign. And that is one thing we don't do in this country.
Yeah.
People commit all sorts of crime, and they are still sitting there. People do all sorts of things against the state, and they are still sitting there. And sometimes you get presidents defending them. Not only in the current party, in parties that have led this country since '92. Because they feel...
No, but lawyer, the thing is that the police historically has been used by the executive to carry out the executive's wishes.
Then why do the police...
So if we are going to fix that, then it has to be, like you said, ground up. I mean, the entire system needs to be cleansed out, because you know that BNI was a special branch before. What was a special branch for? Do you see? I mean, the reality is that this is what has been happening. So it's almost like we've not really fixed, we've just sort of transitioned and changed names, you know. So how do we address this problem?
Why is it that we tend to fear the government in power? Why is it that institutions, in fact, probably I should say it this way, why are institutions scared of the government in power, even when the government is doing wrong?
Because the Constitution gives all the powers to the executive.
No, but is that not also a cultural problem?
No. Cultural from where?
Where we are beholden to the elders.
No. From where?
It's always been.
You
don't agree with that?
I don't agree with that.
Really?
Yes.
In our culture, we are very beholden to older people. And to the impayful.
If the IGP feels that he's taken an action and the party in power does not like the action, he should resign based on principle.
Okay.
Should resign.
I agree. But
the IGP should be able to confront the president if he's doing things that are inimical to the state. That is why he's there. He's not there to serve the president. He's there to serve the people.
But he was appointed by the president, so he's beholden to the president.
He shouldn't be beholding.
Why not?
The president put him there.
He feeds you.
Wait, the president there put him there because he felt that this is the right man to be able to hold the fundamental human rights of the people.
Okay.
That's why he put him there.
Okay.
And if he put him there, he's there because of the people and not because of the president. And if the president is doing wrong, you should be able to tell him, irrespective of the fact that it's the president who put him there.
Okay.
Irrespective of the fact. And the people in government, look, right now, Boris Johnson, have you heard what people are saying? There are a number of parliamentarians from the Tory government who are prepared to cross carpet if he tries a no deal with the EU. And they will cross carpet just to make the point. You see it in this country. You see it in this country. And you find those who are in power and part of the power always trying to shield the president. Is it they who put the president there? It is the people who put the president there. So the people have the right, if the president is doing wrong, to say it. And the president should also see. And sometimes tell the people, yes, I did A, B, C, D, E, and I was wrong. Look, the Constitution says the Attorney General can decide to put in a nolle prosequi and not give any reason.
Okay.
Constitution says the president can sack somebody without giving any reason. Is that why we put a president there? Is that why the president puts a attorney general there and the attorney general is not accountable, especially when they are in this book? This book, which is the leading law of the land everybody should abide to. Is it so? And yes, I have read, and I have a copy of the 1,000-page, in fact, 994-page CRC report. When you read that report, you will find that a lot of the things in this constitution should be reviewed. And I have asked the Minister of Information, why aren't we using the CRC? And some of the things he said to me, I don't want to say it on set. You see, if, and it's a big if, we do not look at party manifestos that bring political parties into power, things like this, the review of the Constitution, would never be taken serious. Because political parties that come into power feel that we stood on a manifesto, whether right or wrong, to bring us into power. If things have changed within that duration they're in power, they still maintain that because our manifesto says this, we are doing it. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong. Right now, the police have to do damage control. Because if it is really shown that, yes, these people are the girls, a lot of Ghanaians will lose faith and confidence in the police. And they'll do whatever they want to do, especially the criminals, because they'll feel the police can't do anything. Why should the police stop a journalist who is going to seek for information to come and brief the people? Why should they treat the journalist that way? The police should be working with the media. It's the media that should be their mouthpiece. If the police are working with the media, it's the media who will say, look, bring this information, we would put it out there for you. But no. Why? Because we have a political system where everything is encompassed in a political party. If that is the case, how do we build this nation? Are we building a political party or are we building a nation? What are we doing? So sometimes you sit down and you ask yourself, is it even worth going to vote? Is it worth going to vote? Because if you vote, and what you voted for, when they come in, they do ultra-virus to what they say they will do. So, let's see. And I hope, yes, what the family are calling for in terms of an independent
commission or...
No, an independent
DNA test. DNA, yeah. Okay.
If for nothing at all, the police should agree.
But agree on what principle? In Ghana,
trust.
Only police have
trust.
The latest equipment to do DNA. If they say they don't trust the police, it means we have to send a team of the families and security agencies abroad to go and do it.
But abroad can come to us.
But you don't have any machine anyway.
Abroad,
it's only Ghana.
But can we not bring? We can bring them, like he's saying. We can bring
the equipment.
Yes.
Or they should come and use that of the police. They should fly all the equipment.
Yes.
DNA equipment.
Yes.
Oh, please.
No.
It will be far cheaper to fly the people there than to say somebody should come with all the equipment to come and do a DNA test in Ghana.
It's blood sample, isn't it?
Okay. Blood samples, yeah.
It's blood sample, isn't it?
Tissue, body tissue.
Well, body tissue.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Let's take that body tissue. And if it so happens that the body parts we're supposed to fly, let's fly it out. How much will it cost?
Okay. And let's do it abroad.
Do it out there.
Well, off the back of what you were saying
just to be able to get confidence in the results. Okay. Because it could happen that if the bodies in there aren't the girls, because the police want to finish the case, they'll say it is.
And that is a suspicion. And it's because even when they were doing the search, some media houses were reporting that they found the bodies of the girls.
Yes.
So that has gone into the mind of the people that the girls have been found. So if they go and do it now, the results will definitely be contested because already some information has been put there, and whether accurate or not, nobody is even telling us that officially police does not even say, look, your report is inaccurate. You got it wrong. That's not what happened. So that the people know, oh, the police have even come to say that what the media has reported is not accurate. So what is in the system is so everybody is now relying on to make judgments and make positions. And I think that the police bureau need to be a little bit more proactive to some of this, because I cannot see why a PRO said that police communication, and somebody reports something, and obviously your people attend that this is not what happened.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it gained traction.
Earlier on, a lawyer was saying that the police need to work more in conjunction with the journalists and so on. But last week, the police had a meeting with journalists to talk about ways of.
You see, if you put journalists in a room that you are training them,
yes,
okay, it's good to train them. Is that not an attempt? Yeah, it's good to train them. But then how you work with them on the field is what is most important. Okay. How you collaborate with them to work on the field is more important. Because if you train me and I need the information and now you won't give it to me, or I'm on my official duty and you are stopping me, how do you want me to cooperate with you? So you see, the training is good. It's important that they build capacity of journalists. I agree. But they should understand the most important aspect is the effective collaboration they will have with the journalists in the field of work. And that is what is more important. So let's take it. Let's be careful. See, we think that the police have not done good, but if you follow the case, only one person was arrested. The second person arrested, you know where he was arrested? He had run away to Nigeria.
Yes.
And police have to use their own intelligence to lure him back, to get some girls who have expressed interest that they want to work job from him, to lure him back to this country for him to be arrested. Okay? As I speak, latest information is that there's a third suspect. Interestingly, information I'm getting is that he was even traveling from Nigeria to Ghana to witness court proceedings of those who are being tried.
Oh, wow.
It is only intelligence that led to his arrest just last week. The third suspect. So you realize the thing is not one or two people. It's a cell.
It sounds like a syndicate.
It's a syndicate. And the guy has given the impression that he sold the girls to a human trafficker in Nigeria. That was the impression he's giving to the police from the beginning, that they sold the girls to a human trafficker in Nigeria who has taken them away. So all along, he's been leading the police on a goose chase. Okay, so all the information the police will extract from him, when they act on it, it doesn't produce any result. That's what I'm saying, that what happened is sheer luck. And that officer who was able to bring that idea, I think the police service needs to promote him. That he's able to recall something he's done many years ago. And if it turns out that those bodies are indeed the bodies of the girls, then these are the people we need to train and give further capacity to as people who should run our intelligence service.
David, I want to find out, probably Elvis and yourself will be able to tell me, how many body parts did they find in the septic tank?
They've not found body parts, they found skeletons, and I'm confused.
How many skeletons did they find?
But I understood there were 2 skulls.
No, right? I'm told it's 3.
3 skulls.
They actually found 3 skulls.
I see.
What happened was, I'm told that when they opened the septic tank, they saw a floating braided hair, which we call rasta, on top of the water. And that was when they realized that, no, this could be a possible place of the dead bodies. So then they decided to go and get the tanker to come and draw the water for them to now go and search. And I'm told that they actually found 3 heads in the septic tank.
Did they find any other bones?
Yes, I think I'm told they found other bones aside the
official police reportage here. It says as part of investigations into the 3 Takoradi kidnapped girls, the Criminal Investigations Department and the Western Regional Command earlier this evening, 2nd of August 2019, conducted an operation at Kansawrodo, a suburb of Takoradi. During the operation, which took place at about 7 p.m., some human remains were retrieved from a septic tank at an uncompleted building. The building was previously occupied by convict Samuel Odiotuk Wills, who is one of the accused persons standing trial for allegedly kidnapping the 3 Takoradi girls. The discovered human remains will be sent to the Forensic Science Laboratory of the Ghana Police for further analysis and investigation. Now, this is interesting because there are also other reports that suggest that it wasn't his house that it was found in, but a house nearby
septic tank.
So anyway.
And the house where the guy was living is an uncompleted building. The septic tank is just nearby, which is also an uncompleted septic. It's not even being used, but there's water in it.
Let's jump into the next subject. Founders apostrophe or founder apostrophe S. Which one do you like? Which one are we going with? Lawyer Jantuah.
When your father builds a house, he starts with the foundation. He's not able to finish the house. And then your sister comes and does part of the house, and the house stands. Then you come and you finish the house. What would you say? Who would be applauded? Is it the one who started the foundation? Is it the one who did half the house? Or is it the one who finishes the house?
Typically, I would suggest that it's the one who finished everything off.
Two. I'm giving you examples. The Bible. Did we or do we not know prophets in the Bible who spoke about God and his works? Do we not? In the end, who do we point to?
In the Bible?
Yes, who do we point
Jesus
to in
Christ.
the end? What did he do? He sacrificed his life for us. When we talk about Jesus, when we celebrate Christmas, do we celebrate them? We talk about them, yes. We talk about the work they did. Do we celebrate them? So let me come home. You choose a day, 4th August, and you pick two events. Aborigines rights movement,
Yeah.
and the foundation of what? UGCC.
Yeah.
Just those 2 days, those two events, and say that should be the Founders' Day date. Look, I'll tell you.
Because the suggestion is that in America,
forget America.
No, this is a suggestion. This is where it's coming from. That in their other countries where there are a number of people that fought for independence. And so in the mountainside in America, you see the faces of four. Right? And it's carved into
Americans
the
fought
hillside.
A war.
Okay, so the point that is being made and suggested is that they were the big six. So let's celebrate the big six.
Who brought the bacon to the house?
You seem to like a lot of bacon.
Yeah, I like a lot
of.
No,
talking about lipstick on the pig and bringing bacon to the house.
It's a phrase. It's a phrase that the British use. If the president did not have personal interest, what he should have done was subsume all of that under the day we celebrate. Now, you've put aside September 9th to celebrate one person. Is that day also going to be a holiday?
Yes, it's a holiday.
Why?
It's also a holiday.
Why? When you take the position and situation we find our country in, then you cancel a day that is instrumental in this country, 1st July. You cancel it. Is there not some personal interest in there? Yes, I do agree.
That's what you are suggesting.
Yes, I do agree. I do agree. You see, this is where sometimes I blame our academics.
What have they done?
They should come out. They should give us the history. They should do the analysis and come out and tell us whether what the president is doing is right or wrong. And let every Ghanaian, if it is right, accept it. If it is wrong, not accept it. We did not vote a president into power to change history. Did not vote president into power to change history. They might, yes, have contributed. But in the end, who fought the British? In the end, who fought the British? In the end, who made sure that what needs to be done is done? Yes, Nkrumah became part of, what do you call it, the Big Six. But what did he do that they didn't do? When he came and he was secretary, he went throughout the country and realized the discontentment of the people and said, no, this thing should change. He came back and he advised the UGCC advised them that let's have a youth wing. They said no. He decided to come out. And when he came out, what happened? We had 3 elections, 3 towards independence, 3. Why?
All right.
Because there were some people who sat on one side, didn't agree.
We've almost run out of time. I just want to take your thoughts on this.
You didn't let me finish.
No, just
for me,
indulge me, please.
Nkrumah is first among equals. He is not the only founder of Ghana. Ghana has founders. And if you have to celebrate, you must celebrate all. He made a valid point. Why do we want to put Nkrumah's own aside? I wish he had all just on one day. But I think because the politics that NDC brought in, then they felt that putting all in one place will not benefit them politically. So let's leave Nkrumah's own and also create another. For me, I think that's the confusion. But you see, as he said, historians are in this country, but we don't listen. There's one historian called Darko.
Yes.
If you listen to him, this man is one of the people that if you want a history of Ghana, you need to listen to him. And listen to what he wrote yesterday, one of them. It says on 4th August 1947, which is also the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention at the Canaan Lodge in Salt Pond, there were women too. Who talks about the women in the fight? But he is drawing our attention that it was not only men.
Yeah.
There were women.
Yeah.
And listen to what he said. He said on that day, 7 important women were there. Notable among them was the wives of Mr. J.B. Eisen of Salt Pond and Kumasi, and Mrs. Magnus Sampson of Anomabu, niece of George Ekem Ferguson. But it was Mrs. J.B. Eisen of Salt Pond and Kumasi, the grand matriarch of the Eisens. She had important role to play in the day as one of the dignitaries who spoke on the motion of the adoption of UGCC as a political party. Mrs. Eisen, the grand lady, supported by about 6 other aged ladies in cloth, mounted the rostrum, an impressive figure, and said, "We had in the past given impressive support to the cause of the church. Today, it is the cause of the nation. Women of the country are behind you." Her electrifying speech was greeted with thunderous applause. Please, let us tell the stories of our women too. So you see, this politicization of Ghana's history is our problem. Look at what this woman said. They supported the church to stay. And that it's the time for our nation. And the women are behind them.
Yeah.
Even the Nkrumah we talk about, Nkrumah alone didn't fight. The women were the support base of Nkrumah.
Yes.
So if we talk about the founding of Ghana, and women like this are not talked about, nobody remembers them. And then we only want to reduce it between Nkrumah and the Big Six. It's a mistake.
Okay.
Let us recognize everybody that played the role. And also happy when I read this that you put out yesterday.
Incidentally,
who is recognizing these women in the fight against independence?
Incidentally, we're going to be hosting him later on in the show.
Of course. So these are the kind of people I want us to listen to and leave the politicians, leave the CPP, NPP, and these people. Listen to the academics, the people who have done the research, who can point you to why one person did not found Ghana. That is where we should be heading. But this about Nkrumah, I believe that Nkrumah is first among equals. But Nkrumah is not the only founder of Ghana. So let's accept, in South Africa, when Mandela was alive, he would tell you about him, but he would tell you more about Walter Sisulu.
Well, thank you very much
in the fight for
watching
South Africa's independence.
The news review of Breakfast Daily news review segment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with the next segment.